Hello and welcome to another edition of Trotsky or Bust. I don't even remember. It's early September today. I think it's who knows, the 6th of September. And what I want to talk to you about a little bit today is Jeremy Corbyn. Who is Jeremy Corbyn? For those of you who are living under a rock, he's the leader of the British Labour Party, the leader of the opposition in Britain. Probably will become the next prime minister of Britain. He's a socialist, which is good, except he got himself into some, trouble, and I don't think it's accidental. I think it's all planned. What's been happening, if you haven't been following in Britain, is Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party have been accused of anti-Semitism. Now, it's strange that the left would be accused of such a thing, but there you have it. That's the case in Britain. A member of parliament quit the party. He's still in parliament. Others have threatened to do the same. Jeremy Corbyn has admitted to problems of anti Semitism within the Labour Party. It sounds ridiculous, but basically, it stems from his support of the Palestinian cause, or that's what he claims. Um, Many claim not to be anti-Semites; they're anti-Zionist. What the difference is, I don't know. Zionism is simply the belief that Jews should have their own homeland in what is today the state of Israel or Palestine, if you will. Considering Jewish history, I mean, it does make sense that they should do this. But what is truly behind this? Earlier this week, the Labour Party had a conference where they decided to take the the Holocaust Museum, I guess, their definition of anti-Semitism, and Jeremy Corbyn it is said that at the meeting he wanted part of the definition to state that Israel's existence is in of itself racist. The creation of Israel was racist. Now, this do I think Jeremy Corbyn truly believes this? The answer is no, I don't. I mean, he knows what Israel is. It was created as a refuge, sanctuary for Jews, and especially when it was created in 1948, was right after the Holocaust, and it was nobody could argue the point at that time. Um, so why is he bringing it? But the party, of course, didn't go with the leader. The leader didn't have his way. Really, the leader of the party didn't have his way. Instead, the party adopted they couldn't adopt that. That would have been going off the deep end had they adopted Jeremy Corbyn's definition, calling Israel's existence to be racist. Instead, they did, for the most part, take the definition of anti-Semitism that I'm not sure the Holocaust people have how it's been defined. Now, why did they do that? Because they're the Labour Party. They have to be politically correct. They can't have this crazy, what their leader said to call Israel racist, Israel's existence to be racist. So why did they do this? I mean, why, you know, is this, they had a difference of opinion within the party? Politics usually doesn't work that way. The reason they did it is, to me, it reminds me of George Wallace. If you're familiar with the governor of Alabama in the 1960s, 50s, 60s, and into the 70s, where segregation now, segregation forever. Okay, now was George Wallace a racist? Probably not. No, George Wallace, the first time he ran for governor, did not run as a segregationist. He ran a clean campaign. And what happened is he lost. So once he lost, he was determined never to be out bigoted again. So he became the biggest racist he could be. And it wasn't just George Wallace. All the Southern politicians were the same. They were blaming black people for all their problems. Why not? Easier than blaming themselves. So that's what they did. So was George Wallace a racist? No, but he was much worse. Somebody who uses racism to appeal to the lowest, the worst elements of the human consciousness. That's what George Wallace did, and that is what Jeremy Corbyn is doing right now. Is Jeremy Corbyn an anti-Semite? No, he's not. He knows better. Okay, he's a leftist. He's not an anti-Semite, but he's using it to win support of people who might be, they're anti-immigrant in general, and certainly if there's a, someone you want to, the easiest people in the world, the people who've always been blamed for all the problems have been the Jews. So that's where Jeremy Corbyn and Labour Party have gone. They've gone totally into the gutter. Totally into the gutter. This is disgraceful, beyond disgrace. Part of it also is to deflect. Jeremy Corbyn wants Northern Ireland to, I guess, to merge with, to be united with Ireland. He's against that. A lot of people in Britain probably aren't happy with that. So let's distract them. Let's talk about the Jews. And that's where Jeremy Corbyn has gone. It's the most disgusting thing you can do as a politician, and he's just gone there. There's a saying from, I guess, the Christian Bible: what does it profit a man if he should gain the world but lose his soul? I don't think Jeremy Corbyn cares. I think he'd rather just become prime minister. And it's sad because a lot of people like him because of his policies, his political position. But, you can be a socialist. You can be for the people without being a fucking piece of shit and a bigot. You don't have to go there. You don't have to have the, you don't have to be, you can find leaders who don't go into the gutters, who are still socialists. Not all socialists are anti-Semites, or want to go into the gutter with, like Jeremy Corbyn does. So that's all he's doing. It's disgusting. It's beneath contempt, and it's sad that it's not just going to hurt the Labour Party in the long run in Britain. It's going to hurt leftists everywhere in the world, just to go into the gutter. And that's about it. The solution to the Middle East is very complicated. It's not something you ever take sides on. You have to understand there's two positions. Jeremy Corbyn knows this. He knows all this. It's just that he'd rather win the election. And, fuck Jeremy Corbyn. Fuck the British. The British, before the British got there, about 100 years ago, I think in 30 years, when the Jews started resettling Israel, there was always Jews there, but they started resettling in the 1880s. There were a few incidents before World War I, but very, very few. Once the 1920s came, once the British took control of Palestine, they were the ones who gave it the name British Mandate Palestine. And the British, wherever they went, they had this strategy, divide and conquer. They just fucked things up. They did it in India, all the conflict you see today between India and Pakistan. You think that would exist if not for the British? Everywhere they went, they did this, and that's, it makes no sense for Jews and Arabs to fight each other. Their, cultures are similar, their religions are similar, their languages are similar. In the 1920s, Arab leaders were calling for their, before the British fucked things up, they were calling for their Jewish brothers to come back. That's how it was. But the British fucked things up, and now Jeremy Corbyn, it's not enough that they're gone. Just go fuck yourself. Just stay on your own goddamn island and just leave everybody else alone. But that's how it is. Sorry, I don't mean to put down all British people. I know that's wrong. I'm being as bad as they are now, bad as Jeremy Corbyn is. But it's just terrible. He's just a piece of turd. And I guess that's what all I have to say today. Tell me what you think, whether you agree, disagree, thumbs up, thumbs down. Please subscribe. Just hit that hammer and sickle, and you can subscribe to this channel. I'm getting more subscribers. Thank you. And that's about it. Hope you had a good Labor Day and have a good Thursday. Take it easy.